Welcome to Farming Aid.
Most people think Wagyu sits at the top of the global livestock market, but that is only part of the story. Once you dig deeper into the world of elite animals, you find a handful of species whose price tags go far beyond premium beef. These are the creatures that shape high-end breeding programs, dominate international auctions and attract buyers who are willing to pay astonishing amounts for rare genetics and unmatched quality. In this video we explore the surprising side of luxury livestock and reveal the 5 animals that outperform Wagyu in both value and global demand. If you are curious about the hidden economy behind world-class breeding and what makes certain animals worth millions, this journey will open your eyes to a market few people ever get to see. One of the most surprising examples is the Arabian horse. Its reputation for beauty, endurance, and historical prestige has turned certain bloodlines into treasures that wealthy breeders spend decades trying to acquire. It is one of the oldest domesticated horse breeds on Earth, deeply connected to Middle Eastern culture and revered for its refinement. For generations, royal families have guarded their purest lines with intense pride. In modern auctions, a single Arabian stallion with the right pedigree and show record can command millions. What makes them especially valuable is that people are not only paying for an animal but for a living legacy. The Arabian horse carries a mystique that blends culture, emotion and status in a way few other breeds can match. Its value does not come from speed on the racetrack but from its connection to history and its distinctive silhouette that has enchanted artists, travelers, and horse lovers for thousands of years. Even today, when new equine technologies and crossbreeding strategies dominate much of the horse market, a top-tier Arabian continues to stand in a category of its own. Shift continents and the narrative changes completely. You step into the world of the Ankole Watusi cattle. Originating from East Africa, especially in regions of Uganda and Rwanda, these cattle have become symbols of cultural identity among the Tutsi and other pastoral communities. Their massive horns are not just striking, they are part of what makes them so expensive. Modern breeders outside Africa discovered that these cattle also carry an elegance that fits well into the exotic livestock market. In the United States, dedicated breeders began developing and preserving pure Ankole Watusi genetics, which eventually pushed certain animals to record-breaking sales. Some individuals have sold for staggering amounts because they possess horn structure, coloring and lineage considered near perfect. What sets their value apart is the combination of rarity and visual impact. A single top-quality bull becomes a magnet for buyers who want to elevate their breeding program or attract high-paying private ranch clients. The Ankole Watusi has transformed from a traditional African pastoral breed into one of the world's most prized status animals, appearing in luxury ranches, wildlife estates and high-profile cattle showcases. Moving into a different direction, few people expect sheep to enter this extreme price category, but the Texel sheep from the Netherlands has been responsible for some of the most astonishing livestock sales in modern history. When a Texel ram named Double Diamond sold for an unbelievable price, global media outlets were left stunned. What pushed this breed so far into the stratosphere was a combination of muscular development, meat quality, and a highly competitive show sheep environment in the United Kingdom. Breeders chase top Texel genetics because a single superior ram can influence hundreds of flocks through natural breeding and artificial insemination. In this economic model, the animal becomes more like a genetic gold mine than a traditional sheep. It is not about wool or simple lamb production but about creating a line that will dominate competitive markets. Double Diamond sale turned the Texel breed into a global phenomenon, but the underlying narrative had been building for decades as breeders refined traits, improved carcass shape and pushed this sheep into the spotlight of elite livestock auctions. Today the Texel remains a breed that can command unbelievable prices when the right combination of appearance, muscle expression and pedigree appears in a single animal. Another animal that continues to shock both dairy farmers and the general public is the Holstein dairy cow, but not the everyday type found on commercial farms. The elite Holstein sector operates on a completely different level. Top Holstein cows are valued not for their meat or milk volume alone but for their genetic potential. Traits like udder shape, milk yield, longevity, and show presence can turn a single cow into a global genetic powerhouse. When a Holstein named Missy broke records with her sale price and show wins, she demonstrated how far this market can go. The dairy show world is as competitive as any championship livestock venue. Winning a major title pushes the animal's embryos, offspring, and even clone genetics into premium pricing. When a Holstein reaches the very top, its value is amplified through embryo sales to international buyers searching for the next generation of champions and high-output dairy producers. This is one of the few livestock markets where biotechnology, global trade, and traditional breeding merge into one. The most elite Holsteins sell for prices that easily surpass those of Wagyu cattle, reminding everyone that dairy genetics can be just as lucrative as beef. As surprising as sheep, horses, and dairy cattle may be, nothing prepares newcomers for the value carried by the white lion. Technically, it sits at the intersection of exotic animal breeding and wildlife conservation. Rather than traditional agriculture, yet it is recognized as part of the broader global livestock and captive breeding economy. White lions are not albino. They carry a rare genetic mutation called leucism which gives them their iconic pale coats. Because they are so rare in the wild, captive breeding programs have become the only sustainable way to maintain their genetic presence. The value of a white lion cub skyrockets when it comes from verified pure bloodlines traced back to the Timbavati region of South Africa. These animals are often acquired by wildlife estates, conservation parks, and regulated private sectors engaged in preserving threatened species. The combination of rarity, aesthetic appeal, and conservation value makes a single white lion one of the most expensive animals legally bred in the world. Their price is influenced by genetics, health, documentation, and the reputation of the breeding facility. Unlike commercial livestock, the value of a white lion carries emotional, cultural, and ecological weight that adds complexity to its economic worth. When comparing the Arabian horse, Ankole Watusi cattle, Texel sheep, elite Holstein cows, and white lions, the picture becomes clear. Wagyu may dominate culinary headlines, but these animals dominate the upper tier of global livestock value. Each one operates in its own ecosystem driven by unique factors. For horses, prestige and lineage matter most. For Watusi cattle, rarity and visual impact shape the market. For Texel sheep, extreme performance genetics fuel competitive bidding. For Holsteins, advanced reproduction technologies turn champions into multi-million-dollar assets. For white lions, the combination of beauty and conservation drives their place in the high-value world. These creatures are not just livestock, they are living investments. Their value reflects human culture, scientific progress, and agricultural ambition. The economic side of this world is often misunderstood. People assume expensive animals become symbols of excess or luxury for wealthy buyers. In reality, most of these purchases are strategic. A breeder invests heavily in a single animal because they believe its genetics will improve their entire herd or flock. Show champions create credibility that drives future sales. Conservation-focused buyers protect rare species and contribute to global biodiversity. Every transaction tells a story about what people value, whether that is beauty, productivity, cultural identity, or ecological responsibility. When you look through this lens, the prices suddenly make sense. The market rewards anything that is rare, high-performing, genetically superior, or culturally meaningful. This global pursuit of excellence has created industries around these animals. From international shows to specialized insurance, from advanced reproductive technologies to elite training programs, these creatures support thousands of jobs and generate significant revenue each year. The Arabian horse industry alone is worth billions. The Texel sheep market continues to surprise the world with record-breaking sales. Ankole Watusi cattle attract buyers from private ranches, zoo programs, and luxury wildlife estates. Holstein genetics are shipped across continents through frozen embryos and high-value semen. White lions contribute to conservation tourism and structured captive breeding programs that support wildlife reserves. These animals move markets and influence the decisions of governments, universities, and private investors. As agriculture becomes more advanced and global wealth continues to concentrate, the market for high-value livestock grows even faster. What used to be small regional markets are now international networks where a breeder in Europe can sell to a ranch in Brazil or a wildlife park in Asia. Genetics travel faster than ever and competition intensifies every year. Breeders are no longer isolated. They are part of a global community that constantly evaluates performance, bloodlines, and long-term potential. In that global arena, the animals that rise to the top become more than livestock. They become brands, icons, and symbols of what modern breeding can achieve. Now you can see that Wagyu is only the beginning of the global luxury livestock story. From rare genetics to elite show champions, these 5 animals prove that the world's most expensive livestock come from markets most people never even hear about. Their value comes from scarcity, performance, heritage, and the kind of breeding potential that can reshape entire bloodlines. If you want to understand where the real money and prestige flow in the livestock world, these animals are the ones setting the pace. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed learning about the hidden side of high-value breeds, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel and drop a comment about which animal surprised you the most.